The blood sizzles from the burning heat of his claws. Slowly, painfully, they cool down and retract back into his body. Surrounded by dead guards, a lone, badly injured scientist begs for water. He thought Logan was dead. He was wrong. Logan offers the water to the man, who says he specializes in cloning extinct animals. That's why he was chosen by Persephone and her company, Solterra. The man begs Wolverine to go after her and tear the entire organization down, before Persephone does to the world what she did to Logan. Wolverine is back from the dead, and I'm super excited. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Comic Island. My name is Joey, and today we're going to be discussing the Return of Wolverine. But before digging deeper, I want to share something with you. Now, have you ever done this before with your crayons back in, say, kindergarten? Life was so much more simple back then. Before babies, before a mortgage, before a 9 to 5. Don't tell my wife I said that last part. So enough about my childhood, let's just roll the intro. So it's finally here. After years of anticipation, hints, and a build-up following Logan's death a few years ago, Wolverine is officially back in full with a new solo series, with the perfect name to suit such an occasion. The Return of Wolverine, written by Charles Soule and with pencils by legendary artist Steve McNiven for the first issue and Declan Shalvey for the second, are both out now, and man, it's great to finally have the big guy back in action, with a solid creative team behind this comic. I really like the new series and am excited to share with you guys everything we know so far about Wolverine's death and return. Now, this all started way back in 2013 when Logan was infected by a virus that destroyed his healing factor. Suddenly, Logan could truly be injured and killed if he wasn't careful. After being brutally assaulted by Sabretooth, Wolverine found himself utterly broken down by all of this and was ready to give up on everything. He severed ties with the X-Men and the Avengers, working for a man called The Offer and using a new suit called Ablation Armor, which was indestructible and it came with its own set of built-in claws. Wolverine was then targeted by many assassins on behalf of Weapon X researcher Abraham Cornelius. Logan managed to kill Cornelius and destroyed this lab, as well as a weapon created by Cornelius called Sharp. But it came at a terrible cost. Logan was completely coated in liquid adamantium during the battle. He collapsed, suffocating to death, and left to be forever encased in the impenetrable metal, though Kitty Pryde later used her powers to free his body and secretly gave the man and her mentor a proper burial. In his place, X-23 and Old Man Logan began functioning as Wolverines, and have been for the last couple of years. That's all changed in Marvel's first legacy issue when Logan returned with a space gem, passing it off to Black Widow, which she would go on to use in the Infinity Wars event. This news of Logan's return sent shockwaves through the entire superhero community. 4 different teams, each led by Kitty Pryde, Iron Man, Daredevil, and Sabretooth, began to investigate how Logan returned. All they were able to find out was that a mysterious company named Solterra was involved, led by a woman named Persephone. This brings us to the Return of Wolverine series. This Persephone character seems to be at the heart of Logan's return. As Wolverine begins to investigate her, he has a vision of being in a strange prison with other versions of himself and the X-Men being held there. Persephone, who is there with him, reassures Logan that nothing gets out of here unless you let it. When he says that he was warned about her, she tells him that she is the one who brought Logan back to life. He then encounters a woman named Anna who recognizes him, but Logan doesn't seem to remember much of anything. He does know about his powers, except he notes that one wound isn't healing. She explains that Solterra has been kidnapping scientists and bringing them back here to help with their work. She asks that he find her son, a young man who is being used as a biological incubator for this company's sick experiment. Logan promises to help her, as she tells him about what she knows of Wolverine, that he kills people and saves them, that he is a hero. As for Persephone, she's responsible for all of this. Logan decides to seek Persephone out and travels with Anna, who proves more than capable when they are attacked a long way by soldiers Logan seems to remember. The two then share a kiss. Issue 2 ends at the Xavier Institute for Mutant Education and Outreach, where Jean Grey makes a surprising discovery. They finally found Logan. And that's everything we know so far. I think this has been a super fun series that already shown off some of the hardcore elements Wolverine is famous for, and it's fun to have Logan gradually return into the fold of the X-Men and the larger superhero community. Yes, this was a character Marvel had been relying on more and more in the comics. Much like Batman over at DC, it was almost a bit of a running gag within the fan community. For a while, if there was a new team of series starting out, odds are Logan would show up sooner or later. But a part of the reason for that is that this character is so fun. He's always in the middle of crazy violent action, while his team with others like Kitty Pryde and the rest of the X-Men showed that deep down, he has that classic anti-hero's hidden heart of gold. Making those connections with other characters is really what makes Logan special. So seeing the X-Men are already going to be getting involved in these things is a big deal and a great sign to me. This is the character that in many ways perfected the idea of the anti-hero to begin with. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about Logan's return.
Ditto.
Meanwhile, Charles Soule is a great writer who has done a lot of awesome stuff in the past. He's the one who did Death of Wolverine to begin with, so it's pretty cool that he gets to write Logan's official return as well. Declan Shalvey's work in the second issue does feel like it isn't quite up to the same level as Steve McNiven's amazing penciling in the first issue, but I'm pretty sure most artists would look the same way. It's hard to follow a comic that looks this good. I'm pretty interested in what's going on behind Wolverine's resurrection too. The first issue is full of these cool moments where Logan keeps seeing alternate and past versions of himself and other X-Men with this Persephone woman. I don't know what's up with that. We'll just have to wait and see what's up in future issues. It's all pretty cool though. Her and this Sotera seems to be the ones behind Logan's return and the changes to his body, including the loss of memory again, the wound that won't heal, and the crazy heat claws. By the way, what's up with those claws? I mean, I'm down for the rest of it, but that part seems a little weird to me.
And now Comic Island presents the top 10 uses for Logan's new heated claws. Number 10, Extreme Barbecue. Number 9, Boiling a Kettle. Number 8, Instant Cauterization. Number 7, Heated Seating. Though that may destroy the seating. Number 6, Aggressive Out of Control Backfire. Number 5, Melting Ice. Number 4, Melting Animals. Number 3, Selling Comics in a short-term bid for gimmick. Number 2, Extreme Heated Anal Penetration. Don't kink shame. And finally, the number 1 use for Logan's new heated claws, f***ing murder!
Well, anyways, the Return of Wolverine does show some cool sides to it. For one thing, it adds to the already tremendous amount of pain Logan must go through every time he pops his claws. That's always been an interesting side to the character. Logan's story is of one imaginable pain and suffering, even at the core of this most basic abilities as a superhero. I also think the whole thing is kind of like when Superman was blue for a while. Or that time when Spider-Man grew those extra arms. It's a fun little gimmick that will be looked back on as an interesting piece of trivia, and something people can maybe use one day in an adaptation somewhere. That's all. That's pretty much everything to this new power, so we might as well enjoy the ride while it's still here. And that is everything. Let me know what you guys think about Wolverine's return. What do you think about his new claws? And what's going on with Persephone? I'd love to hear from you guys as always. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to support us, I recommend checking out our Patreon page. The link will be in the description below. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time in another Comic Island video.